Back from the break, you're still watching This Week, and I'm Somna Sambo. Now, the Nigerian government has put 3 aging presidential jets on sale in an attempt to cut excessive spending on fleet maintenance. The jets being considered for sale are a Boeing 737 Boeing Business Jet, or BBJ as it's called, which is the president's designated aircraft, one Gulfstream and a Falcon 7X. Now, presidency sources say the federal government also appointed a frontline US-based airline marketer, Jet HQ, as the broker for the sale of the 3 aircraft, with an exclusive marketing agreement signed between the Nigerian government and the company, giving it the permission to value the 3 aircraft and subsequently market them. They also say the proceeds from the sale of the jets will go into procuring new aircraft for the presidential fleet. Now, the House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence had recommended that 2 aircraft be purchased for use by the president and the vice president after their current aircraft became faulty at some point during international official trips abroad. Well, joining us now is a sales expert, business executive, and public affairs commentator, Atta, to help us understand all of this. Now, talk to us about the idea of selling. We are putting 3 aircraft for sale, while Nigerians are saying that we shouldn't be buying any. The government is saying that, look, we'll help remedy these measures by putting these 3 aircraft for sale, getting the proceeds, and then buying newer ones. What do you make of all of that?
Thank you so much. You know, if you follow the argument so far, is that we have on the presidential air fleet, we have 6 aircraft, and we have about 6 helicopters. And out of these 6 aircraft for the presidential fleet, the Boeing 707 has issues, and it has become unserviceable. Over time, the federal government has expended so much fund trying to service this, with so much downtime and expenditure expanded on the 3 aircraft. So far, the 3 aircraft has been recommended by the House Committee on National Security and Intelligence that these 3 aircraft should be sold. Then whatever we realize from them should be plowed in to get new one more befitting for the #1 citizen of the country. I think what we need to put in place, or what we need to consider as Nigerians, is that we need to place security of lives and property very, very as a priority. We're talking about aircraft. We're not talking about a motorcycle or a car. Right? Even if your car is not serviceable, you know, I believe if I was driving an unserviceable car, I won't be able to be here on time for this
that's
interview.
what people are questioning. How could a presidential aircraft not be serviceable?
Over time.
For things that are used every now and then by the president, and we're told yearly that budgets are made available for the maintenance of this presidential fleet.
You see, for the presidential flight, over time, this is a flight that is about 25 years old from manufacturing date till date. And this was a flight that was acquired by the former President Olusegun Obasanjo in 2005.
Yeah,
so that flight is about, that aircraft is about 19 years old, and it has become unserviceable. In recent times, when the president was in Netherlands and he was to attend the World Economic Forum in the Rio, he was grounded there. They have to resort to chartering a private jet to take him there. In recent time as well, the vice president was in Ogun State the other day. He could not fly by with his aircraft. He has to charter a private jet to take him there. So for how long are we going to be expanding taxpayers' money? Like between 2002 and date, the federal government has expanded over $10 million servicing those aircraft. And between inauguration date till now, the federal government has expanded over $8 million trying to service those aircraft. So they have become unserviceable. And the logical thing to do, because see, the problem we have in this country is that we allow ourselves to be carried away by emotions. Right?
Well,
when we have critical issues,
if you say we have 6 of those aircraft, 6 of those jets, and 3 are actually not service-worthy and all of that, like you have said, then what happened to the remaining 3? I know the Senate President uses 1, and I think the First Lady and maybe 1. No, so why don't we make use of those 3 left?
No, the designated aircraft for the president is the 707 Boeing. That carries about 30 people per time, right? And that is the one that has the
737.
It's 737 rather, 737. So that carries a larger number of people, and that's, you know, accords the office of the accords to the office of the president. So you cannot be continuously dissipate the taxpayers' money on servicing those aircraft that we clearly know that will not serve the country sustainably. And the question I would like to ask you, you know, and I know Nigerians are hearing, will you put your father in an aircraft that you have been clearly told that it's no longer serviceable?
Well, I guess you're repeating what Bayo Nanuga had
no, that's the question I will ask. Because all of us, like, we all have fathers in our homes. And if we cannot afford to put our own father in an aircraft that has been designated, it has been done, like the House Committee on Security and National Intelligence, they have done their independent investigation on this. They have met with PAF. They discovered this, out of the 6 aircraft assigned to PAF for the president, 3 of them is no longer serviceable. Will you put your own father in an aircraft that you know is no longer serviceable?
Well, I guess they were using the Malawian experience and then the Iranian experience. But now you are a salesperson, and I mean, that's the major reason why I brought you here. Talk to us about selling of all of this. Why does it look like it's shrouded in, you know, in secrecy that, you know, Jet HQ from the US is being asked to sign you know, a contract with the federal government to dispose this aircraft? I mean, shouldn't it have been advertised? Because I've seen the Nigerian Air Force also advertising previous presidential aircraft for sale. Why not through the Air Force?
See, when you talk about the sales of this aircraft, you know, I believe Jet HQ, they are, before the federal government will commission any sales broker, any broker to sell those aircraft, they will have done due diligence. The Office of the National Security Advisor will have done their due diligence. They believe this is the best broker at this very point in time that can handle this transaction. And if you follow what has happened in recent, they bid offers and they're still reviewing it, just like they've not been. I don't know whether there is any contract that has been given to them so far, whether they have signed agreement or not. But I know that I've heard that they have made some couple of offers, and the National Security Office was not comfortable with those offers, and they decided to go back and review those offers and say that, okay, at the end of the day, the country realized something sizable from the sales of these 3 aircraft, and whatever is gotten from these is used to get something more befitting of the president of the largest black nation in the world.
Yeah,
right?
But the way you're sounding and the way I heard some presidency sources, it looks like they want a much more bigger aircraft for the president. And Nigerians are saying that these are lean times. If Nigerians have been asked to endure the austerity period and adjust their belts, how come the president and the vice president are looking for bigger aircraft?
I think we want to put the safety of our leaders as a national security priority.
Shouldn't we be going for
so because at the end of the
sizable aircraft instead of much more bigger ones?
No, look, if you see the recommendation from the National Assembly, they have recommended that 2 aircraft should be purchased. But from the discussion going on so far, I think it's the only one that want to even, because of the lean purse of the federal government now, they want to embark on purchasing one for the federal government and see what happens subsequently. But for now, I believe the decision of the federal government to go and embark on to purchase the new aircraft for the #1 citizen should not be viewed through any emotional or some sentimental point of view. This is the right thing to do at this very point in time. As long as we cannot afford to put our parents in an unserviceable aircraft, we should not. All
right. Do you think those aircraft are going to be sold as scrap? Because I mean, if you have JetQ, I know Jet HQ. I mean, if they are buying this aircraft, they will be reselling them to people who will be using them, not as scrap. So, but the impression you're giving us here is looks like it's scrap that we are selling. I hope that's not the situation that the federal government is putting us.
What the federal government is trying to balance is this, and if you look at the argument, you know that this is the right thing to do at this very point in time. Now, between 2002 and now, the country incurred over $6 million in servicing those aircraft. And this is something that happened on a recurring basis.
I guess that figure should be more than that. I mean, if it's a $6 million, because
that's the debt, the debt they incurred even before the advent of this administration. That's about $10 million. Then between the inception of this government and date, they have spent over $8 million trying to service those aircrafts. So for how long are we going to be putting monies into an aircraft that will come up with one issue today, tomorrow they will say that somebody will be grounded in Netherlands, our president will be. So this is a country that needs all our leaders at this very point in time to drive the process for us to recover from our current challenges.
All right, sir. Before I let you go, in the midst of the austerity that we are in, why is it wrong for President Tinubu or Vice President Shetima to actually fly first class instead of entering a presidential jet? We've seen people from other countries who enter the aircraft of their national airline or national carrier. Why is ours different? Why must the president use a private jet, a presidential jet, if you may call it that way?
Recently, the president of Kenya went to the United States with his entourage, with his team, and they incurred over $2 million. Chartering a private jet. Is that what we want to embark on? Is that what we want to do as a country? Well,
I know William Ruto actually said some of his friends donated those monies, actually, that what the Kenyan government spent was not up to that.
For a country as big as Nigeria, and for the role we are playing in the world and even in the West African sub-region, I think we should be able to set the standard for sustainability, for security, and that encompasses the security of our leaders. At this very point in time, from the analysis done by the National Assembly, I think they have done serious investigation as to the integrity of these aircrafts, and they have recommended that even three of those aircraft should be replaced. But considering the fact that the country has a lane pause now, okay, let's have one for the president for now.
All right.
So that subsequently others can be replaced. But we should be looking at a country that will project our leaders in the best light possible.
All right. Very quickly, in 30 seconds, how fast do you think those aircraft will be bought and we'll have a new one? I mean, as a salesperson, how fast can they be bought?
I can't tell you exactly how fast it can be, but a lot of dynamics will have to be involved. That's, the National Security Office is involved, but at least I know that since this has become a national emergency, a national security issue, I know within the very shortest time that will be addressed.
All right, we must thank you so much. Atta is a sales and business executive, and he's been joining us to help us understand the decision of the Nigerian government to put for sale 3 jets within the presidential air fleet. And of course, that also follows the decision by a committee of national intelligence, security and intelligence in the House of Representatives recommending that 3 of those aircraft to be disposed, and then of course 2 be bought for the president and the vice president. Thank you so much for joining us to help us understand these issues.